They say mother is gold. That was why the melodious rhythms and the euphonious dulcets in the voices of the choir group of Fiwashaye Girls Grammar School, Akure, Ondo State, was harmoniously geared towards giving a peep into the deep assurances of true motherhood, and it was indeed awe-inspiring. Could not have been anything less, because true motherhood, otherwise known in Yoruba parlance as ARIYOMO Toto, really is rare to come by, and when you find one, you celebrate it heartily. That was the case of the late Princess Elizabeth Oluwatimi Ariyo, who got celebrated in no small way, even in death, by her son, Engineer TUNJI Ariyo, especially with a rendition of a specially composed poetic masterpiece for the repose of her soul at the exclusive event center, Akure. The celebrations of life of this Amazon began in the noon of that same day, as guests made their way to the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witness in the Danjuma area of Akure, Ondo State for the funeral service. In no time, the little hall got filled up with gorgeous guests. They all raised their voices to Jehovah as they sang in unison the solemn hymns. While reminiscing about Mama's life, Mr. Adedamola Akimbadewa took charge of the service as he led in the funeral discourse.
Inú wa dùn gan pé a ní màmá yìí láyìíká wa. Inú wa dùn pé a ní wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyá. Inú wa dùn pé a ní wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹbí. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ló lè fọwọ́ ẹ̀ sọ̀yà pé màmá ni màmá àwọn. Gbogbo àwọn ará náà ló sì lè sọ pé ẹni gidi, ẹni rere ni màmá Ariyo. Kódà gbogbo àwọn ẹbí ló lè fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ pé màmá ò bẹbí jẹ́ pé ẹni ńlá ni màmá nígbà níwà láyé wọn. lọ sílé ọ̀fọ̀jù láti lọ sílé àsè lọ kí ni ìdí tó fi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ni pé tá a bá wá sírú ibi tá a wà yìí pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń gbọ́ yìí ó máa jẹ́ ká lè ronú ara wa pé ká lè mi lọ̀rọ̀ yìí kàn lọ́la kí làwọn èèyàn sọ nípa mi ó máa jẹ́ ká ronú dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n tó bá jẹ́ pé ayọ̀ yìí sapá gan-an wọ́n ṣorúkọ rere fúnra wọn nígbà táwọn wà láyé àwa náà fẹ́ ṣe gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà ká ṣorúkọ rere fúnra wa.
This solemn service, typical of the indoctrinations of the Jehovah's Witnesses, soon came to an end with a closing hymn. Mama's body was then taken to her house for the interment. Following words of exhortations, Mama's casket was lowered onto Mother Earth. This brought tears to the eyes of the children, who deeply felt the pains of not seeing their matriarch again. Born on January 6, 1930, in Ado-Ekiti, to the Egunjobi Osho family of Okeisha in Ado-Ekiti, Mama Oluwatade Ariyo studied up to Standard 3. She was the pioneer staff of the Ado-Ekiti textile mill, where she rose to the position of a line superintendent. She later became a major distributor to John Holt, UAC, and other major brands in Ado-Ekiti. An energetic woman, Mama was called by the nickname Mama Engineer. With an extraordinary retentive memory, Mama was an historical archive for the family. A devout member of the Jehovah's Witness organization, Mama served as a full-time evangelist till her last day. She slept in the Lord on January 15, 2020. To celebrate the life of this exemplary woman, guests then converged at the exclusive event center, Futa Junction, Akure, for the reception. They were treated to good times with great meals and good wines. All the children of Mama saw to the adequate entertainment and pampering of their guests. Mama's last born, TUNJI Samuel Ariyo, however, made the reception and indeed the entire burial ceremony a colorful one, as he pulled all the top shots of the ONDO society, especially the political class, to every stage of the funeral ceremony. With his Abeti Aja cap, which has become his signature any day and any time, his oratory capacity and intellectual sagacity are his trademarks, which have often been overshadowed over time by his gentle composure. An engineer by training, his story is that of a fast-rising star boy on the political turf of Ondo State. He is currently the special advisor to Ondo State Governor OLUWAROTIMI AKEREDOLU on energy. On this day, therefore, his clout and goodwill spoke volumes of him, as he enjoyed the pleasure of the presence of who is who in Ondo State, led by the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Arabirin Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, as his guest.
Ariyo,
These VIPs soon joined him on the dance floor as they wiggled to the exciting beats and music of the Emerald Band. Red Carpet TV spoke to some children of Mama and other guests.
It's a lot to bring up children and bring them up in such a way that they turned out a success. And we read that Mama is a devoted Christian. We learned about her passion for industry. So definitely she should be a role model amongst equals. They said she was still evangelizing even at 90, going about to preach. That is a very unique one. So thank God for her life.
A lot of people, at least Mama did that. You can see that from our kids, from our children. They are those, all of us were together to celebrate her investment should be their kids, their children. And that's what Mama did. Mama ensured that TUNJI attends virtually every education Mama tries as much as possible to give it to her. And you can see the investment today. This is a dividend. And I urge other parents to do the same.
Caring and loving, and she was always there. Even though I wasn't so close to her, but she always made sure she was around, and she was the only one that knew when I was sick, like all the time. It was as if she could almost feel it, and she would be dearly missed.
She was a strong woman, she was independent, and she loved my dad.
My mother was a special woman, and I consider it a special privilege to have come into this terrestrial space through her. This was a woman who at some time faced a lot of life difficulties, but did not lose her faith in God for 1 second. Because of her confidence, trust, and faith in God, practically everything she aspired to, she eventually accomplished to the glory of God. At the age of 90, she was still a full-time evangelist in the household of God. And of everything in this world, the most paramount to her is for her God to have mercy upon you, or better put, for you to find favor with our God. My mother did not care about worldly wealth and riches, and whatever she had, she shared with others without telling anyone. It was until she passed I knew she was, extending good gestures to people, but I did not know that there were so many until she passed. That was when I got to know that there were people who cried that she was the one sponsoring their education. So we thank God for her life, and our prayer is that the divine being, our Almighty God, will empower us, the children, with the grace to be able to live in manners that will delight God Almighty. Being from Okesha, she was in fact Omo Adesu Agbejigo Orujo. She was Omo Baisaya Jaramunda. She was also Omo Ewi Lado Olokosha Mashofinida. But of all these worldly praise names, she preferred Omo Alade Alafia, Omo Iyeloro, Omo ẹni tí ìjọba ń bẹ léjìká rẹ̀, Omo ètò tuntun òdodo, Omo Jehovah. That was my mother preferred oríkì. Ìyá mi lówó mi dàgbà lọ́lá olú fún òde dépele jìrẹ́ láìsí tádé olúwa ló fi mi sàkó fóṣù mẹ́sàn-án ọ̀lẹ tó ga ní ikùn kéńgbé ẹlẹ́gẹ́ ó tún bí mi ó pọ̀n mí sẹ́yìn o fọjọ́ pípẹ́ mo kù ṣe rìn mú yàgbẹ́ o òun nìkan ni ìgbà tí ó tún wù mí ò má wá kúnlé mú màmá ọmọ má tọ̀ sí ṣòkòtò kó bá ríṣẹ́ àgàgà tí ń bá gbábọ́ọ̀lù má báṣọ jẹ́ kò ṣàìsàn àmọ́ ọlọ́run rẹ̀ Olúwatádé òun ṣá lálàgbà òun ṣá lónìí ìtọ́jú òun ṣá lọ́lọ́run lò tó bí mi sáyé ìyá mo kí ọ o kú iṣẹ́ ìyá mo kí ọ o kú oríire. Other mothers should follow in that same path of being the bulwark of protection for their children.
From the Red Carpet TV crew, we celebrate with the children of Mama for giving their mother, the late Princess Elizabeth Oluwatade Igbayilola Ariyo, a befitting burial.